just want to say good morning. Having a little bit of breakfast. So I got some delicious French press coffee. Very rich, creamy and delicious. Cafe Bousla, you can't go wrong on a French press. It's actually espresso, and I just make a whole mug of the shit. Mango. Gonna cut that up. Some bananas. Gonna eat that. And some mixed juices from home. Just passion fruit, pomegranate, mango, a bunch of other stuff, but those are the primary ingredients. Delicious and nutritious. I eat that every day. This is my breakfast every single day. Generally, I try to make a smoothie. I don't have my blender out here today. See, I got my computer here. We are receiving Wi-Fi through my phone, and the service is great. The first thing I want to say is it is hot today. It is hot. It is going to be around 90 to 92, I believe. Some cloud cover is rolling in, thank God. That's going to cool it off a little bit. I'm going to try to get some work done here, some very interesting projects for a new vlog that I am starting, which I've tentatively decided to name the Daily Poroy. DIY tips for extravagant living on a budget. So I'm just enjoying my coffee and smoothie. If you can't have a smoothie in a blender, you can just masticate the shit in your own mouth, and voila, you have a smoothie. So it's just fruit, juice, and coffee. Normally it would be smoothie and coffee, but I'm just literally going to make a smoothie in my mouth. That's how we do things when you have to resort to, innovative solutions, which is what we do out here in the boating world all fucking day. If you are a true, devoted boater, and that's kind of what I wanted to get around to, was the difference between certain types of boaters. There is a distinct difference between two main types, and most people fall into those. Most people break down into those two general categories of people who are out on the water, and then that really it's a social stratification, more precisely than it is a maritime stratification. So that speaks to a lot of important issues that we're all dealing with these days. That is the different kinds of people, which, believe it or not, is very valuable information to assess. Look at this beautiful, beautiful mango. Holy. Oh, it just smells like the tropics. Holy shit. Excuse me, I'm going to be trying to renovate the aft deck. Seats and tables primarily is what I'm trying to improve on. I'll show you those later. The old original, I'm assuming original seats are just beat up by the weather, as everything tends to get eventually, and they've just had it. They've taken on a lot of bird shit over the years, and you clean it and you scrub it, and it calcifies or something and tends to deteriorate, and then it rains, it gets wet, it takes on water, and the sun comes out and it cracks, and then the wood rots, and it's just a mess. And I can show you easier than I can tell you, but I'm having breakfast. I'm not going out there right now. It is hot. Did I mention it's hot? The original idea for this video was to break down the different kinds of boaters and the different kind of people in this world by a simple renovation task that I've been wanting to complete, which illustrates a point that I encounter over and over and over and over out here while I'm out here in the water working on this boat project. So I got a professional marine upholsterer out here to give me a quote. The numbers that he gave me were $1,300 to replace 2 bench seats. 2 bench seats on the boat. Not even the main structure, just the cushions, and just the cushions with a little wooden frame to the cushion. They sit on fiberglass, on a fiberglass structure that's already a seat in and of itself. So, what that leads me to is the breakdown of the 2 different kinds of people out here. And one are the check writers. I call them the check writers. They probably don't write checks. But they don't leave home without their American Express, I can tell you that. Or their Visa MasterCard, or whatever. Or their platinum, heavy, 5-pound titanium Chase Manhattan card. Alright. So that's, and there's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that on its surface level. These are the guys that I say they solve their problems with American Express. They don't leave home without American Express. They're the check writers. Every problem they just throw down the titanium, platinum, Visa Chase Manhattan card. Okay? So what that doesn't do, unfortunately, which is what the rest of us, I would say, resort to doing, but we choose to do it in a way, and it's our normal reaction, is instead of using your Visa MasterCard, you use your noodle, your noggin. And so when you are using your Visa MasterCard instead of your noodle or your noggin, and your back and your hands, and your legs, and your body, and your psychology, and your resourcefulness, all those things that I just mentioned that you are not using when you're throwing down the plastic or you're writing the checks, in theory, would tend to atrophy. Meaning, since they don't use it, they lose it. Now that's not necessarily the case, because if when you throw down your plastic, you can free your mind up to do other things. So don't get me wrong. You can streamline your existence in a sense by paying other people to do the labor that you don't want to do. But I would also at the same time probably use that freedom to apply my mind and my psychology and my body and whatever, my resources towards higher goals and more important things. But that's just me. I don't think a lot of people actually do that. Maybe they do. Who knows? It depends on how you define higher goals and all that stuff. So the other class of boater out there, basically they just do their own work. When they see a problem, they don't. Their first reaction, which is mine, is, okay, how am I going to fix this? How am I going to repair this? How am I going to resolve this? What am I going to do?
Responsibility is the cornerstone of awakening.
And the second thing they tend to think is,
what am I meant to learn from this?
I know I'm not going to spend a fucking ton of money on it, I can tell you that, because I just don't do that. I'm a frugal motherfucker. A, for a reason, because I don't got it laying around. B, if you're not frugal, if you're not resourceful, you're getting jacked, you're getting ripped. I can guarantee you that. You're buying junk that's overpriced, well-marketed, and popular.
Stupidly expensive.
And not necessarily a very good product. That was day in and day out. It doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how nice you are, it doesn't matter how cool you are, you're probably getting ripped off if you're not trying to be somewhat resourceful with your money with regards to buying into our consumer lifestyle.
Because the world around you is a projection of your own mind, all of this is true.
So, as a DIY boater living an extravagant lifestyle on a budget, I am constantly awed, of course, by the things that people pay for, how much they pay. To me, it's laughable in most cases because my jaw drops constantly. Because I very easily don't pay these prices that people pay. Because I've just developed that lifestyle and I know where to go and find the cheap stuff. And it's not necessarily cheap as in bad, cheap as in value. You get value out of your product and you're not paying a shit ton of money for a piece of garbage. And oftentimes better products can be found for lower prices because they're just not as popular high dollar, high ticket items that you buy in the store every day. So your boaters that are resourceful and do their own work, and granted, it is hard work, don't get me wrong, but you're out on a boat, you're making drinks, sometimes you have ladies out here. It's beautiful. Being on a boat, working on a boat is great fun.
Check baby one.
It can be challenging.
Check baby.
You're in real life shit out here.
Now let me see you shake it up like a rump.
If you fuck it up, your boat is at the bottom, or it's on the ground, or it's upside down. So, $1,300 was the quote that I received to replace the seats on the aft deck. I was kind of beside myself as to what I was going to do. And I was like, well, I guess I had to have it replaced by a professional. Now, I can tell you what happens. This happens every time. You're like, oh, I'll just have it replaced by a professional. I've got some money. I paid $2,500 for this boat originally in cash. Walked up with $2,500. He wanted more, of course. And I said, here's what I got. I can walk with it, or I can walk with a boat. And you can walk with the money. And he walked with the money, and I walked with the boat. Now, to purchase $1,300 worth of aft deck bench seating, and I'll show you, it's just some seats. It's some bench seats. It's bench cushions. Cushions, not even seats, just cushions. To purchase $1,300 worth of aft deck bench cushions on a $2,500 boat is nonsensical because you might as well just go out and buy another boat. I can guarantee you that. When you hear that number, $1,300, and you previously had not devised a way to address the problem yourself, when I heard that number, $1,300 to replace those aft cushions, and I was sort of at my wit's end about how to replace them, I thought I was going to have to rebuild the shit myself and make an exact replica, and all this other junk, and having to learn marine upholstery, and building the wood frame, and all this other junk, and blah, blah, blah. It was so deteriorated that I could hardly even see how the wood frame was constructed. All of a sudden, your brain kicks into gear, and it says, hey, I bet I can think of a better alternative that may even work better in so many ways than the situation that I've got here and the situation that I would pay $1,300 for. This is some 1986 ass shit out here. And don't get me wrong, very high quality vessel, but it comes with certain drawbacks in that if you got to replace your upholstery, every 3 or 4 years, and it's $1,300 just for 2 fucking bench seats, you got to find a better way. French press, fucking delicious. Do some product plugging. Cafe Bustelo, the best shit you can drink in the morning. So you're 2 different kinds of boaters. One's a check writer, and one's a do-it-yourselfer. That's basically it. That's how it breaks down. I'm clearly a do-it-yourselfer. Now I'll pay money for some good shit, but it'll be a deal. Alright, I'm gonna do something I shouldn't. I'm gonna chuck this in the sink and see if I make it. Hey-o! 2 points! Yes! So your mind, at least my mind, I think what most people in their right mind automatically begin to do when they hear a price that's way beyond any reasonable solution to their problems is their wheels begin to turn. That's how your brain responds to a situation where you're like, oh, I must have this, and they tell you the price. You're like, oh, maybe I don't need that, actually. Maybe there's an alternative, and that's the whole point. Alternatives. We, in the United States, one of the biggest problems we have to face is not where to buy our stuff, having to go to one place and pay the price, but which place are we going to buy all the stuff from? Because we've got so many choices. So we have alternatives. We have options all the time. Different locations of the same brand, of the same department store, alternatives, knockoffs, varieties, competitors to that department store for different prices. You can go online and find the price before you can go. You don't have to drive around. It's really easy to window shop and comparison shop all the time and find the best price. Or you can buy the shit online. You don't have to go anywhere. No, I don't use Amazon. I think Amazon sucks. Same thing. Amazon, iPhone, same thing. I don't get it. You know, you have to rack your brain a little bit. You have to use it. That's where your brain doesn't atrophy, because you really have to resource the gray matter that you were blessed with, and hopefully you have cultivated some refinement in the use of your brain. And your wit and your cleverness, you know.
Oh no. This sucks. Yeah, me. Me.
Or you can just be a fucking dullard.
Cool.
Alright, so I had to come up with a functional, aesthetically pleasing, reasonably priced method of replacing these seats. And what I like to do is not only to replace them, but to improve upon the situation. Meaning, there are flaws, there are drawbacks that I have to deal with, that I have noticed with the design of the seats as they are designed by professional boat designers. They look great when they come off the showroom floor, but over time, you got problems. So I wanted to not only have a reasonably priced project, a functional project, an aesthetically pleasing project, but I also wanted to improve upon the original design. I wanted to address the problems that I have with the factory product that I've received that is 30 years old now. So what I'll do next is show you some of the items that I've purchased. I'll show you their price tag. We're going to compare that to the $1,300 price tag that I was quoted to just sign a check or swipe a credit card. And the price variable is dramatic, I would say, is an understatement. And we'll break down the theory of what I have described with actual items and their layout and their construction and their design. And we'll show you the difference in what the two different kinds of people get in life, what they get out of life, what they put into life, and what they get out of it. The check writers and the do-it-yourselfers. Alright, since I'm running a DIY blog from the Daily Po'boy vlog, DIY tips for extravagant living on a budget, you would not believe how inexpensive this extravagant lifestyle is. There is an expense, don't get me wrong. The expense is not dead presidents. You know what I'm saying? Okay, ciao.